Today on Legally Yes, Prince Harry is heading to trial as he says he can't put Meghan Markle in danger by traveling to the UK. Plus, drama in Yellowstone as Taylor Sheridan sues star Hauser for trademark infringement. And Aman Schumer and Tiana Taylor's divorce is getting ugly. We've got that plus so much more in today's Legally Yes. Everyone, and welcome to Legally Yes. I'm Christina. That's, of course, Neama Rahmani, President and CEO of West Coast Trial Lawyers. Hi, Neama. How are you?
Doing great, Christina. How about you?
I'm doing good. I feel like it's been a minute since we talked about Prince Harry, but he is back in the news this week, and a court ordered him to pay the publisher of the Daily Mail just over $60,000 following a failed challenge by the Duke of Sussex to strike down a legal defense by Associated Newspapers, which claimed in a report that Harry attempted to mislead the public. So Harry was told that the Mail had a real prospect of proving that a 2022 article, which accused Harry of trying to mislead the public about his efforts to keep publicly funded security, was accurate, and the case should therefore proceed to trial. Harry had claimed the article was fundamentally inaccurate, and he may have lost this, but it seems like there will be a trial sometime next year between May and July. And although he did not appear in court, his lawyers did share a statement from him saying that it was with great sadness to both of us that my wife and I felt forced to step back from this role and leave the country in 2020. The UK is my home. The UK is central to the heritage of my children and a place I want them to feel at home as much as where they live at the moment in the United States. He added that he can't put his wife in danger like that. And given his experiences in life, he's reluctant to unnecessarily put himself in harm's way. So kind of break this down. It seems like there's a lot of things going on here.
Yeah, Christina, Prince Harry was on a winning streak until now, and the case is still going to go to trial, but what he tried to do was strike or remove one of the Daily Mail's defenses, and that was the honest opinion defense. So if and when the case goes to trial and the Daily Mail is able to convince the judge that they honestly believe that the story was accurate, that's a defense in the defamation case. The prince filed for summary judgment to try to get that defense removed. The judge disagreed and said, not only did you lose, you have to pay approximately $60,000 in legal fees that the Daily Mail had to spend on your motion.
Got it. So is this to seem like a large fine that he has to pay for this, or does it seem pretty accurate?
It's a pretty significant attorney fee award, but obviously not a whole lot of money for Prince Harry. And the case is still going to go forward. And obviously, this is separate from the privacy case that we've been talking about. This case involves the allegation that the prince tried to keep a secret his attempt to get the Home Office in the UK to pay for his security, and that he only made the offer to reimburse them after this all became public. So very sort of specific issue that we're dealing with here, the secrecy and the offer to pay for his security. But we know the prince is going to be very aggressive in going after these tabloids. It's not necessarily about money here. It's about sending a message. So I fully expect this case to move forward.
So when this does eventually, if it does go to trial, what do you feel the outcome might be? What's Prince Harry's defense in going into this?
Well, there's two parts. There's the liability and the damages. I think the prince is going to have to testify again and say that this wasn't true. I offered to pay for the security out the gate. Obviously, we don't know who's telling the truth here. If the prince made the initial offer, only made the offer to reimburse for the security after this all became public. But that's something the prince is going to have to testify to. You know, even if he wins, though, my question is, what really were his damages here to his reputation? Obviously, if someone is unlawfully hacking his phone and, doing all sorts of illegal activity, that's going to be a pretty high damage case. Someone writing about whether he decided to make the offer to reimburse before or after everything became public. Don't know how much a judge would award in damages, even if Prince Harry wins.
All right, moving right along to Yellowstone drama. This show has been in the news for all the wrong reasons the past few months. So Taylor Sheridan, his Bosque Ranch filed a lawsuit against Hauser's coffee company, Free Reign, on November 21st for trademark infringement, unfair competition, and false advertising. So the lawsuit alleged that Hauser's coffee brand has a logo which seems similar to Sheridan's B&R design for his ranch. So Sheridan claimed that Free Reign is confusingly similar to his brand and constitutes false and misleading descriptions of fact that are likely to cause confusion or to cause mistake as to which goods are associated with Bosque Ranch, which was founded nearly 20 years ago. So he went on to point out that Bosque Ranch publicly announced a new craft coffee centered around the cowboy way of life in June. And he questioned the timing of Kohl's brand, which was launched a little over 3 months later. So according to the legal paperwork, Kohl did not receive permission or authorization from Sheridan, and the filing requested that Kohl's company stop using the Free Reign brand and destroy all products, marketing, and promotional materials that relate to the brand. And he also noted that they expect Free Reign to pay for damages because Free Reign is irreparably damaging Taylor's business. I have to be honest, the logos do look a bit similar.
They do, Christina. Yeah. And obviously, anytime you have members of the same show suing one another, I mean, it's a problem. But, legally, it's what you said. Is there a likelihood of confusion? And now you have the same product, coffee, really the same sort of advertising campaign involving these cowboys. And the logos are very similar with the letters on top of one another. So I think this is the type of case where a judge would rule, or if the case goes all the way to a jury trial, that the likelihood of confusion is high. If Taylor was the one to originally trademark the brand, if he was the one to originally use the brand in commerce and start selling coffee, and then Kohl came later, it seems like a textbook trademark infringement case. So I think Taylor does have the edge here.
Right. It's just interesting since they're so closely related. They work together. I don't know, a lot of drama goes on behind the scenes on that show. So will Kohl then have to destroy all of that merchandise? Will he have to pay for those damages like he said? Or like he's requesting?
I think what will likely happen, Christina, is Kohl will have to rebrand. I mean, that's the better course of action. We all know that producers and actors in Hollywood, they make a lot of money off product and merchandise. Could be coffee. And it's not worth the fight in this case because, if the mark is infringing, then all of a sudden Kohl's going to have to disgorge all those profits, pay all the money he made to Taylor. So the better business and legal strategy here is if you're a new brand, you might be infringing. Just rebrand, do something different, make it so it's not as similar to Taylor's brand. Therefore, there's no likelihood of confusion, and you can keep all the money you made without having to pay it to the owner of the trademark.
Got it. Going to be a lot of tension on that Yellowstone set. Okay, moving right along to Aman Schumer. He has responded to his estranged wife Tiana Taylor's claims that she felt endangered in the relationship before filing for divorce. So he alleged in his response that Taylor cannot prove that he made her feel unsafe. This is according to the court documents, and Taylor reportedly cited cruel treatment as her reason for the dissolution of the couple's 7-year marriage. Schumer denied the claims, noting that the only reason for their divorce was an irretrievable broken bond, and he requested that the allegations be removed from her motion, and also noted that he is not irresponsible with the pair's 2 daughters. So what exactly is when somebody says cruel treatment, and how can this be proved?
So, Christina, this is one of those cases where the state's laws matter. So we talk a lot about divorces here in Hollywood, and California is a no-fault state. It doesn't matter why you're getting divorced. But Georgia, where Iman and his wife live, that is a fault-based state. So you can file a no-fault divorce, say the marriage is broken, or you can file a fault-based divorce. And that's what she's doing. She's alleging cruelty. And if you can prove fault, you get some advantages in the divorce. You might be able to keep the house. You might be able to get more in alimony, and you may be able to get more in terms of custody. So it does help the case. And there's different bases for fault, such as domestic violence or adultery. And obviously what's being alleged here is cruelty. So it does make a difference in a fault-based state like Georgia.
Yeah. So does it seem like this will go to trial eventually, or do you foresee this being settled well before that even happens?
very few cases go to trial, and I expect this one to settle as well. Sometimes these allegations are made because they're true. Sometimes they're made to get leverage in a case. So I expect these two to put their feelings aside, decide what's in the best interest of the kids and resolve this case before there's going to be more public and damaging allegations to the family.
Yeah, let's hope so. Definitely. All right. Well, Neama, thank you so much. That is it for this week. Thank you so much for breaking it all down as always.
Thanks, Christina. I'll see you next week.
See you next week. For more news, content, and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.